Hello, and welcome back to Horizon Zero Dawn. Last episode, we got into the Zero Dawn project facility, and not only did we get the shackles, the stranded shackles, we also made it a decent ways in, and we're not even done yet. There's a lot that's still in here. One in such is learning more about the different the different parts of Zero Dawn. And I thought there were different wings. Oh, there's Poseidon. Um, but I was wrong. We do know that Hephaestus and Hades were a part of it, but we don't know what happened to Apollo. Wait, I already went through that. This is like my third episode in here. Yeah, episode one getting in here. Episode two was mostly informational, and this is episode. Yeah. Whoa. Simulation results from Margot Chien to Sobek. Oh, you weren't kidding about Gaia's predilection for animal morphologies. Sure, not totally unexpected given the rough natural terrain her bots will have to navigate, but I agree that there is something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional, they feel almost like, well, tributes. And the world that comes to mind, as though she's already mourning their loss, and not just for the disappearing fauna of the time, but creatures from the fossil records too. References to megafauna in some of her designs. So cool. Well, whatever Gaia thinks up, Hephaestus will empower her to build it. I just wish we could still be around in a century or two to see what she makes. So that's kind of like the upside to working on this. Yeah, like yeah, you're doing 80-hour weeks, which that's a complete murder. That's doubled. I think that was like the old average. Oh, that's a plate. All right, and then there's another one right here. Is this Tate? No, Margot Chien. Oh, from Sobek. If I doubted your brilliance in the slightest, I wouldn't have picked you as the Hephaestus Alpha. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You you are who you are. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you're doing. Case in point, the latest draft of your plan for the construction and stocking of bootstrap silos to store raw materials is excellent. This combined with your design for the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection plan add up to a add up to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail: consult with Aomidi Okilo before you finalize the silo inventories. Hephaestus' first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers. Construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes. So any exotic materials needed for the towers should be accounted for in the inventory plan. Okay, I'm still missing two, but we might find them later. Or not unless I missed them. No, not. Okay, this isn't the part that I thought it was.
Hello,
Oh
I'm
my
Margot
god!
Shen, and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. Um, so you probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulation, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it. If Hephaestus was part of a system designed to save life, why would it use cyan to make a cauldron? And churn out machines with no other purpose than to kill people?
Somehow it's gone rogue. I don't understand why or how. But whatever the reason, it explains why machines have become more dangerous over the years.
It used... So with that alone, you can kind of like tell that Hephaestus and like in the other programs, and that's a worse term for it, were not really to act independently, but to be like a different part. Almost like how, like in some cartoons, a person breaks up into different personalities. Kind of like that. Hephaestus is a part of Gaia. It's more of like Hephaestus is a fragment of knowledge.
I've seen these shapes before. In cauldrons.
But of course, the birthing places of Gaia's machines.
Oh, hello. No, this is the part that I'm thinking of. This is just the Hephaestus section. Oh, no, it's down there. Can't scan that yet.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But it's sealed off. There's got to be a way inside.
Keep looking.
More eclipse.
Careful now.
I thought this part didn't happen until like much, much later. Okay, so that's 151. 141. Really?
These tunnels go on and on, but the shadow shall guide us.
Ah, damn it.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in cradle facilities around the world ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries. 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
I thought that was Minerva's mark, not Apollo's. Oh, yep, here we go. And the winner is encapsulated DNA. Over the past 10 days, I performed the exhaustive review of data storage solutions, magnetic, optical, quantum, even that eternity tech that FAS was shilling a year or so ago. But every other solution has one or more fatal shortcomings. Too heavy to transport, too massive to install in the allotted space, too power intensive over the centuries, too prone to failure past 3 to 400 years, and etc. Encapsulated DNA will easily hold the 40 plus zettabytes we're projecting for Apollo. There are many details to finalize, of course. To start with, we need to select the inert material in which we'll embed the molecules, already testing 16 candidate materials, as well as design and fabricate the power systems and sealed reliquaries that will keep the DNA at negative 18 degrees Celsius for 1,000 plus years. So long as I assure you, so long as I assure you that it didn't factor into my decision, may I confess that I deem it entirely fitting, indeed propitious, that we will be using the very building blocks of life to preserve human knowledge from mechanized extinction. It's not just ironic, but heroic. Life as the hero, beating back the forces of oblivion. In any case, much to do. Until next time, peace be with you, Samina. What was the last one? Okay, yes, they're both to Sobek. Over the past 2 months, the full benefit of our procurement of a copy of the Homer archive from Far Zenith has made itself known, and as a result, all of Apollo's key deliverables are on schedule. Apollo has already surpassed 40 million discrete data entries and continues to grow. The physical science modules are effectively complete, with soft science modules close behind. World history, cultural data, and media archives are also on schedule. Language preservation is wrapping up a bit ahead of schedule due to falling short of our goal to preserve 4,500 languages. I suppose the tragic early loss of Papua New Guinea doomed that goal from the outset, with attendant curricula development about to begin. Speaking of heuristic curricula, they are performing well in testing, with children and adolescents demonstrating high levels of engagement with and trust in the Aristotle and Aspasia personae. Personally, I find them highly engaging, especially when they debate. I wish half my professors had been so entertaining. Fuck me.
The last of them. Alone once more.
In what should have been a cave of wonders. Look around. See if anything is left.
God, none of that went according to plan. If anything, I feel like, nah, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say, I kind of feel like I John Wicked their ass, but I absolutely, 100% did not. Ooh.
Dr. Sobek, please archive this testimonial in Apollo. Cross-reference to all mentions of my name and Operation Enduring Victory. My name is General Aaron Harris. From 2060 to 2066, I served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest-ranked officer of the United States Armed Forces. The tenure of my command included strategic planning and oversight of Operation Enduring Victory, a falsehood perpetrated on the civilian populations of the United States and other nations during the last 14 months of life on this planet. Before the Pharaoh Plague, I did my job and did it well. I was bold and decisive, crafty in political maneuvers. It wasn't an accident that I rose to my position and became the commander of the largest mechanized force ever assembled. But to what end? My only lasting achievement was the extinction of life on Earth. And my one redeeming act, if any, was to delay that extinction by days or weeks, by throwing more death at it. It is my hope that there will be no need for men like me in the world to come. If you are one of the people of that future world listening to this message, please know that I am sorry and that I wish you well. Sincerely, Aaron Harris.
See, that's the type of shit that it's commendable. Oh, because because to me, he's admitting, like, he's admitting his wrongdoings, and for Apollo, the complete hub of information is in both past, present, and future. He wants it, like, logged forever. He wants it to be known that he was not a good person, and he has, like, blame in, like, a bunch of people dying. Oh, hey, we're entering Hades.
Welcome to Hades, Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe protocol, the ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just plumb crazy, ain't it? Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine you're Gaia, 200 years from now, and this new biosphere you're growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos, spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate it. But you get the idea. Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal. So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct? And how's it end up in the wreckage of a Pharaoh Titan, getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
If Hephaestus went rogue, why not Hades too?
That's what I'm thinking, but why? And what caused it?
Keep searching, and perhaps we'll find the answer.
It's very neat that, because yeah, it doesn't make hold on. It doesn't make sense like to have something to kill all life working with a project to return life. But if shit doesn't go right the first time, like that's like you said, the entire purpose is to redo it, is to turn. It's pretty much like to start over again. All right, from Tate to Sobek. Color me confused, Lizzie. Bashcore? Anyone who says the old TT codes to Bashcore is straight up lying. And you know it. Old Trav don't have no truck with commercialized razzle dazz. Nuh-uh. Heck, I'd rather guzzle a liter of Cetarum runoff than listen to Grey Swarm for 30 seconds. Hand to God and swear on my mama's grave, and she was religious. Nah, that ain't Bashcore blasting the Hades lab, shaking the walls, rattling folks' teeth. It's death metal, girl. Classical music, 80s and 90s mostly. Honestly, got me some Dutch deathcore, some Japanese gore grind, some Swedish cannibal themed stuff. Stop by if you want to listen, or heck, just come within 50 meters of the lab. Ain't no bashcore you'll see. Or hear, rather. It's the screech that rends the air and feel in the throbbing pulse of the floor. Floor and walls and ceiling swallowing you up like you was Jonah trapping the globe of the gothic deathfish. Hallelujah. And those requests to turn it down, no can do, Lizzie. This is how I code. Turn down my death metal, might as well give up stimulants, chocolate malt, and industrial accident vids. Last I heard, we was supposed to be coding Hades down here. Am I really supposed to code an Extinction Protocol without death metal to inspire me? Nah, I don't think so. If memory serves, I think Travis was like a malicious hacker. I think he was like on like a wanted list. Tate here, just popped 3 blues, but I earned it. Finally figured out Goldilocks solution to Gaia's rather extreme executive. If that ain't worthy 10 to 12 hours of dream time, what is? Before this, every usurpation protocol I designed failed in simulation because it was either too hard or too soft. Too hard, and it degraded the Gaia core. Sure, it pried her figurative fingers off the figurative driving wheel so Hades could take control, but by breaking her fingers, sometimes her arms too. So that couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control back after Hades has done its business. So had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for wear. Too soft, and Gaia only pretended to relinquish control in simulation after simulation. Hades would take command of the terraforming system in reverse operations, only have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly reversing process and falsifying telemetry to hide its interference. Sneaky. That's right, ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life growing, even when it's just simulated plant life. Like, that's kind of fucking terrifying of Gaia. Gaia to lurk in the background, re-reverse processes, and faking telemetry data to hide that it's doing it. Turns out the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity, and then unseat it from command position so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair and work its magic. Those blues are coming on strong now, so I'm not really describing it so clear, but pretty sure it'll work. Yeah, those blues are pretty strong. Guess it's have a sleep bed. I'll be back tomorrow, alligator. So instead of just ripping her out of the seat, seat, or like trying to take control of like the, and using his own like metaphor of this being like Gaia driving a car, or can't necessarily just rip her out of the driver's seat because that would cost too much damage. Can't just take control of it remotely because she can still have control. And just right is to just pretty much eject her. Just eject her, put her into a different car after you get rid of the other car. Dude, Tate from Ibaji with Sobek in the CCs. Mr. Tate, this mail concerns Apollo Archive submission number 23,876. Your 666th submission in just 5 days. And oh, what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings regarding RE inappropriate materials, you chose to submit 265 holographic remasters of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. Allow me then to thank you on 2 counts for giving me the pleasure of rejecting your submission, thereby consigning your favorite Eastern European torture flicks and their ilk to the dust heap of oblivion. It truly warms my heart to know that I have saved future humanity from the ordeal of experiencing not just one, but all 16 installments of making a millipede. Don't worry, the Pasolini material has already been preserved. Extreme perhaps, but art. For clarifying a concept that has so long been ambiguous and ethically fraught from archivists such as myself, the definition of obscenity, you have freed me from the subjective quagmire embodied in Judge Potter's famous utterance. I know it when I see it. Thanks to you, I can now apply a single objective criterion. If Travis Tate submitted it, it's obscene. Accordingly, I have directed Apollo staff to summarily reject all of your future submissions, sight unseen. Then perhaps you might invest the time you would spend preparing further submissions on, oh, I don't know, your assigned work? Or we have a world to save, after all, or the rest of us do anyway. That's right. Tate was not. he, uh, he was
Looks like the only way onwards.
he was not favored in the slightest.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Brochard-Klein, the Alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 Rally Accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances, but as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No. Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem. To say nothing of the breakneck construction of cradle facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
He kind of sounded like, I might be stupid, but he sounded French. Well, I'm not sure. French, German. He sounded like he had like European and like Asian. Um, what's the word I'm looking for? Accents. Accents. Like it sounded to me. It was unrecognizable. Granted, I suck at recognizing accents in anything. So what do I know? The ectogenic chambers arrived 2 days ago. I spent the last 36 hours examining them and poring over technical documentation. They were a revelation. Astonishing. I don't know what you had to give Far Zenith and trade to get these chambers, but it was worth it. In a single leap, their embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings and risks of ECMO. The risks of ECMO resolved. Nutrition delivery resolved. Hormonal stability resolved. 12 other risk areas resolved. Before I examined these chambers, I considered the Odyssey to be a fool's errand. But if the rest of Far Zenith's technology is at this level, well, a human colony around Sirius doesn't seem so impossible after all. Mass fabrication of the chambers will present a number of challenges, but I'm confident that they can be resolved. I'm going to rest for a few hours, then get back to it. Expect a fabrication plan within 48 hours. BBK. Where's Zenith? That sounds familiar. That sounds real familiar. Everything about that one is real familiar, and I think this might be one of the. I think this might be one of the chambers that he was talking about. Cradle servitor persona. The development of the artificial persona for cradle servitors, nurturer, disciplinarian, healer continues at a good pace. We are targeting Turing point 4 for these constructs. This should allow low-grade empathy and limited improvisation without undermining adherence to codified behavior sets. The stimulus-driven switching of personae, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipated, especially concerning our entrenched feedback loops between the disciplinarian and healer personae. I have also attached the reports from an instant where servitor running their mother personae intervened on the disciplinarian servitor's behavior. A parental argument, if you will. Amusing at first glance, perhaps, but deeply concerning. I've attached a comprehensive plan for correcting these interactive protocol shortcomings and just get corrupted. Cradle sealed. Eleuthia 01 was successfully sealed before the swarm advancing across Xinjiang province could detect it. Ping back from crucial systems is good. For our main voyage, a success. Regards my disputes with the betas over zygote selection. Of course, I understand we are limited overhead to run simulations of gene flow in our future humans, but we can all agree there is margin for refinement in future cradle populations. Dunk, in addition to personally overseeing completion of Eleuthia 02, of the Eleuthia 02 site inside Mount Nomali, I will formulate and propose a modified zygote selection plan within the week. BBK. See, this is where it lost. Like this one specifically is where it lost me because it's just not. It's just not clicking.
Cradle facilities. Elizabeth said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
She did.
All Mother Mountain. It was one of them?
There's only one way to be sure.
The hatch wouldn't open. Something about a corrupted alpha registry. I need to search Elizabeth's office.
You fucking kidding me? Where the fuck are you?
Looks like it used to hold something. Some component that got removed.
What are you talking about and where? This?
Nuts would benefit from antilopinae morphologies, though caprid forms show superior load-bearing capability.
You're a quick study, Gaia.
Dr. Sobek, as I have conducted this comparative analysis of mammalian morphologies, I've gathered extensive data on the quaternary extinction event.
Oh? And your assessment? Gaia?
Logically speaking, the extinction was a natural consequence.
And yet...
And yet, I find the loss of megafaunal species unaccountably sad. That they passed forever into oblivion causes me to experience a grief that is difficult to describe. Am I malfunctioning?
No, Gaia, you're not. This is good. It's very good.
Gaia was experiencing grief. Oh, she was talking about this, I think?
You will undergo a brief period of unconsciousness during relocation to Prime and final instatement.
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
When you're back up and running at the new site, we'll bring the subordinate functions online and see where we stand.
Elizabeth, I detect distress. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
I realize that circumstances compel us to launch earlier than we hoped, but all subsystems are operational. The odds stand in our favor.
But what if... Gaia, there's nothing left out there. You can't even survive unless you're wearing an environmental suit. There are billions dead, in fear and agony. What if it was all for nothing?
Elizabeth, extinction was inevitable. Thanks to you, life will have a future.
You really believe that?
I believe in you, Elizabeth. In you, all things.
Okay, that's probably the door that we're gonna go in. Oh, I thought right here is when we learned about like some of the other ones, because we didn't.
Pure logic won't cut it, Ted. To pull this off, Gaia's going to need to have some skin in the game. It has to care.
What if it runs amok? Have we learned nothing from our mistakes?
Your mistakes, I think you mean?
All I'm saying is give it a kill switch.
She was just born, Ted. I'm not gonna put a gun to her head while she's still in the cradle.
You talk like it's a child. What if it becomes a monster?
Elizabeth, may I speak outside protocol?
Of course, Gaia, go on.
I'm sorry to contradict you, but Mr. Farrow's argument is sound. At this point, the development of my psyche is not entirely predictable. To ensure preservation of life, a hardwired override is, I believe, a necessary safeguard.
There. Satisfied, Ted?
Jeez, Liz, just do what it says.
Ted, go fuck yourself. Like, the only reason we have to do this is because of you and your fucking dumbass. Alright. With that, I'm going to leave this episode here. And so, thank you guys so much for watching. And like always, I'll see you in the next one. Later.